Good afternoon, Cross Timbers. Today is Wednesday, October 29th, 2014. This is Texan TV news from Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas, and I am Sara Sanderson. Today's top story. In campus news, the university will celebrate the expansion of the OA Grant Humanities Building on Friday, October 31st.
Hello, I'm Rachel Peoples with Texan News Service.
I'm here the completion of the renovations to include the Department of Communication Studies, University Writing Center, and the state-of-the-art learning facilities. Private video podcast rooms and media escape rooms were added to improve student skill sets and prepare them for future success and career goals. A major part of the renovation includes the new state-of-the-art Media Convergence Lab, which allows students to use the latest equipment and high-tech software to produce daily broadcasting shows, including this show. The expanded building also contains public relations and an event management lab. The College of Liberal and Fine Arts Dean Kelly C. Styron says the addition of the 34,000 square foot facility offers a new learning environment with many amenities which the students deserve and will highly utilize. The public is welcome to attend the event and tour the building. Also on campus, State Representative Craig Goldman toured campus this morning to talk about expanding Tarleton's presence in Fort Worth. Editor-in-Chief Rachel Peoples was available to interview him.
Hello, I'm Rachel Peoples with Texan News Service. I'm here with Texas House Member Craig Goldman. So good to see you. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you.
What brings you to campus today? I'm
here for a tour, a campus tour. I was here almost, we think about 20 years ago, so I hear a lot of things have updated since then, so I'm just got here and looking forward to seeing everything new and different, and very impressed with what I've seen so far.
Awesome. So this is like your fourth stop so far, right?
Yes, yes.
So what do you think so far?
So far, absolutely amazing. I mean, just where Tarleton has come in the 20 years since I've last been here, and,
yes, sir.
And where they're going to go in the future. It's just, you can see it's going to be absolutely amazing.
I think so. So I know you're running unopposed in the election next week. So what are your goals for the next legislative session?
Well, I do have an opponent. I do have a libertarian running against me. Yes, not a Democrat, not a traditional opponent, but a libertarian is running against me. So I hope all my people in District 97 get out and vote.
Okay then. Yes,
so I'll clarify that, but assuming I do win, I think there's three major focuses and themes that seem to be leading this session. One, we're going to have a major discussion on school financing that probably will continue on to one or several special sessions. And then two, we're going to have to focus on our transportation funding, really get that right. Texas Department of Public Safety and Transportation says that we need $5 to $8 billion more for current projects on the books that they don't have money for, so we're going to have to find money for those projects. And then three, I think there's going to be a major focus and look at securing our border more with sending more troopers down there, and Department of Public Safety people that we can do, but it's going to take money to do that.
Absolutely. So one last question for you. Texas has been pretty solidly Republican for years and years. Do you think the governor's election next week is going to surprise anybody?
No, I don't think it's going to surprise anyone.
Oh yeah?
I mean, Greg Abbott's going to be our next governor. It's just a matter of how much he wins by. Not a matter of if he's going to win, but how much he wins by.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you stopping by. Hope you enjoy the rest of your tour.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
In local news, according to the Empire-Tribune, jurors needed only 2 hours to convict Richard Wayne Hammer, 48, of Dublin, of sexually assaulting a 7-year-old relative on 2 separate occasions. People observing the trial were asked to leave as the young girl took to the witness stand. The victim's father also took the stand, stating the girl had blood in her urine, and she told her father what had happened. The child was diagnosed with a serious urinary tract infection at Cook Children's Memorial Hospital in Fort Worth. District Attorney Alan Nash's closing statement to the jury was there was no way the girl could retell the details of what had happened if it weren't true. He encouraged jurors to judge her credibility to find the verdict of the case. The jury did just that when they found Hammer guilty. Hammer's sentencing trial was this morning, An Erath County jury sentenced him to 99 years in prison. And now, today's Texas national and international news from the Associated Press. First, the AP News Minute.
This is AP News Minute. Syrian and Kurdish sources say a small group of Syrian rebels entered the besieged town of Kobani to fight Islamic State extremists there. Kurdish forces are also on their way in. Lava from Hawaii's Kilauea volcano destroyed an empty shed. A two-story house could soon be hit. Dozens of other homes and businesses are in the path of the lava flow. The explosion of a commercial rocket that was supposed to bring supplies to the International Space Station is under investigation. The blast did not hurt anyone. And the World Series is going to Game 7. The Kansas City Royals forced a final game for the championship after drubbing the San Francisco Giants 10-0 on Tuesday night. Sandy Kozel, The Associated Press, with AP News Minute.
In Texas news, in Dallas, two men, Dennis Lee Allen and Stanley Orson Mosey, were wrongfully convicted in the 1999 murder of Reverend Jesse Bournes Jr. The men, whose cases were taken up by the Innocence Project, are now awaiting new trial dates and rulings from an appeals court. The group was able to get witness testimony in exchange for reduced sentences from people who are in jail currently. This is not the first time someone has been wrongfully convicted. More than 30 men have been released from Dallas jails from wrongful convictions. Mosey said he has no animosity towards anyone and gives the Dallas County judicial system a positive note if the Court of Criminal Appeals will act and do the just thing in this matter. Allen stated that being out felt like heaven. Both men spoke to reporters before exiting the courtroom with family.
You're free to go.
Did you ever give up hope?
No, sir.
Why not?
Because I had God and faith and I knew the truth would come to light.
Are you angry at anybody?
No, sir. I hold no animosity toward anyone.
So what's your plans now? What do you want to do?
I want to be a part of something positive, some ministry, do something positive for the community and help uplift and fallen humanity. I've tried to stay positive the entire time I was in prison. Throughout this entire ordeal, I never allowed it to consume me with anger or hatred. I stayed positive. It was surreal. There's no doubt that there are others out there still waiting to be exonerated or waiting to be cleared.
We've had a former prosecutor who lied, basically, to get these convictions. And so, based upon that lie, we looked at this case, and even DNA, that it was time for these men to get out of jail.
All right.
This is about public trust.
All right.
And as long as I'm the district attorney, we're going to restore that public trust because it's lost.
Away from the courtroom to be with us, his family.
I give God all the credit. Yes, sir. It was a blessing. Yeah, I get it.
In national news, a California surgeon and his patient have an unusual connection. The surgeon, Robert Kincaid, was performing heart surgery on 83-year-old Jim Affleck. Kincaid had recognized the last name and did research on his patient. He found that Affleck was a former obstetrician during a meeting previous to the surgery. Kincaid mentioned that he had been delivered as a baby at Suter Memorial Hospital when Affleck said he had delivered babies there. Kincaid went home to look up his birth certificate when he discovered that he was performing heart surgery on the obstetrician who had delivered him years ago. Affleck said everything has come full circle with Kincaid performing heart surgery on him. He feels like a new man since the surgery. In international news, John Kerry, U.S. Secretary of State, met with Canadian officials on Tuesday to discuss border security and step up already close counterterrorism cooperation. Kerry visited Canada to pay respects at the National War Museum in honor of Corporal Nathan Cirillo, who was killed by a gunman last week. The gunman was suspected to have been inspired by the Islamic State group. The attack was the second in 3 days in Canada. Kerry stressed the fact that both Canada and the United States will do what is necessary both in North America and overseas if necessary to expose and defeat terrorists. Canadian Foreign Minister John Baird agreed, saying Canadians can't allow for a safe haven for terrorists or give them a launch pad for attacks on their home soil. Canada and the United States are always working together to find more ways to cooperate, and Kerry said they would be willing to intensify law enforcement, border security, and intelligence sharing. There was virtually no areas of disagreement between the neighboring countries on big international issues. In sports, the World Series is headed to Game 7 after the Kansas City Royals defeated the San Francisco Giants 10-0. Yordano Ventura was the winning pitcher. Jeremy Guthrie will open for Kansas City tonight, and Tim Hudson will start for San Francisco. The same two starters went head-to-head in Game 3, which was won by Kansas City 3-2. And now for today's weather, according to the Weather Channel. Today will be a high of 76 degrees and mostly sunny. The wind will be out of the northeast at about 7 miles per hour. Tomorrow will be a high of 80 with 7-mile-per-hour winds out of the south to southwest. This has been a production of Texan TV News, a product of the Texan News Service from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas. Tune in to Northland Cable Channel 9 on weekdays at 12:30 for each day's top stories and Wednesdays at 1 for the week's top stories in Spanish. You can follow the Texan News Service on Facebook and Twitter and check out our website at www.texannews.net for all of your latest local, state, national, and international news, as well as all of your entertainment and sports updates and the live stream of Texan TV News. Today's broadcast was produced by Michaela Bram, Shayla Watson, and Andy Barton. I am Sara Sanderson. Have a wonderful day, Tarleton Texans.